Pol.Erect. I'm Mike Grant, and when I hear that Palestinians want to have their own nation without Israel's blessing and let all of their terror groups run the territories, I'm politically erect. Topic 1. Arabs, permission to profile granted. The government can't legally profile them, but you and I can. Let them know that the people are watching. I'll tell you why. I don't like them because they don't want to be liked. In my experience, the Arabs are the angriest, most violent, sexist, gaudy, and godless people. Godless mostly because they'd send their most mentally ill teenagers on suicide missions rather than protect them. The Middle East mental malnormalities came from the inbreeding. Generations of cousin loving have reduced the gene pool to a deformed and stagnant state, the results of which are Down syndrome, retardation, autism, psychosis, and innumerable others. The cure? Martyrdom. The slippery slope of overpopulation also leads to high unemployment, malnutrition, early death rates, and poverty. But on the upside, plenty of available homicide bombers to kill 6-year-old children at pizza parlors in Israel. Plenty of soldiers to join the rubble-throwing army of Palestinians. Plenty of souls to waste in the name of martyrdom, which hasn't ever accomplished a damn thing without political intercession tied to it in any country. But we're victims, they decry. No, every time the moderate Arabs don't protest and march the streets when violence is used against the innocent, then they are complicit in it. Please stop calling yourself Americans when you applaud a terrorist event anywhere in the world, 88% of which is Islam influenced. You're not. To us, you're not. When I worked for Chaldeans, I demanded a 50% deposit, sometimes up to 80%, knowing full well when the job was completed according to the contract, then the renegotiations would begin, and inevitably paying the balance would be foregone. So by getting 80%, I could walk without the final payment, which was always denied. It's their nature to F you, F them first. Locally, if you aren't Arabic, stay out of Dearborn, Michigan, especially if you are not Muslim or don't follow Islamic law and or Sharia law. Arabic is the #1 illegal immigrant in Michigan, I'm told. Don't quote me on that stat. If you don't stay out of Dearborn, your rights will be squashed, your religious beliefs challenged, you will be subject to reverse profiling, and if arrested by the Arab-controlled police, your day in Dearborn Kangaroo Court comes replete with anti-American sentiments that I don't recognize from my high school political science class or law in 2 state colleges, including, but not limited to, being arrested before your protest even begins, denied due process, denied bail, bond, and recognizance, denied an impartial jury, subjected to prejudicial permit process, detained purposefully so as to sabotage your right to peaceably assemble and protest at a certain time, denied your right to adequate discovery evidence and jury selection, be paraded before a hostile judge who has clearly already decided on the facts before hearing them, and then extorted for fees to protest that others aren't afforded the same insult. And finally, you're forced to surrender your permitted concealed weapon. I am ashamed of Dearborn and apologize to the world for them. So where's the middle? How about some American assimilation? How about you let some of your Chaldean daughters date someone other than a Chaldean? You let loose your Chaldean men out to objectify non-Arab women, so what's with the hypocrisy? 9 out of 10 females I know in Metro Detroit have disgusting examples of being hit on by the Chaldeans. No respect, groping, dishonesty, drug offerings, attempted kidnapping, face slapping, the woman's face. Really? Don't deport the Arab criminals here. Let them rot in our jails. Back home they'd be free and heroes. Guys like Dabish, who is part of the powerhouse, who tortured little girls, and the recent shooting of Zaidan on a basketball court. If they're not fighting an enemy, they're fighting each other. It just illustrates the lack of control over the youth in this Middle Eastern community right here in Michigan. So profile away real Americans. Call the police on the slightest suspicion you have of a young male that perhaps blasts by you in his white Mercedes doing 90 miles an hour in a bicycle lane. So what is the solution with my big mouth? Will the Arabs and the Jews ever get along? Reminds me of that old joke where Israel launched a new spy satellite to keep track of all their Arab neighbors. Apparently, they had enough pictures of this from the ground. I am currently holding up my middle finger. So I propose that we make Jerusalem the new world capital, similar to the way the Vatican is in Italy to the other faiths. There are several reasons to do so. Multiple religions claim Jerusalem as their spiritual center, so this way everyone can have it versus fighting over it. Then, should a Palestinian homicide bomber blow a school full of children to bloody bits, the whole world can be witness to what terror the Arabs bring to the region and ideally expelled from it. We can't ever let the Palestinians have Jerusalem back because historically they have kept everyone but Muslims out. They destroyed temples and religious iconography that wasn't Islamic. Making Jerusalem the world capital would also encourage the moderate Palestinians to take steps toward their dream and discourage their own militants to resort to violence. For it could be taken away as easily as it is given. Hope is stronger than the steel in any sword. And it would be safe. Israel has the best air force in the world and the second best intelligence agencies. Their army is also modern and stocked full of willing, intelligent citizens. So where's the earth-shattering kaboom? The earth-shattering kaboom is going to be in Jerusalem if these two don't stop fighting. This is politically correct. Copyright Artershock down MMXI by Mike Grant. Or in Hebrew, what you need translation for? Go back to the kibbutz and work more.
That was politically erect, in case I misspoke.